Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we're taking a look here at Kotobukiya's Frame Arms Girl Architect, and this is once again the original Architect kit. There was also later on the off-white version, which I actually have already previously reviewed. So that pretty much, that review covered everything of like the main kit, everything that you're seeing here. But what's cool about this original version that it also comes with some really cool big heavy weapons, which to be fair are sold separately. So even if you did get the off-white version, you could still buy the weapons separately and you could just do it that way. But this version is still pretty cool. And so as always, guys, big thank you to USA Gundam Store for their support. Do check out the link to their site down below. Check out the different Kotobukiya stuff, Frame Arms Girls, Megami Device, and of course all sorts of Bandai products there as well. You can get 10% off everything there using the coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Now, so let's check out everything that she comes with. Alright, so first up, once again, we got this set of waterside decals here for the eyes. So you've got those eyes available there in blue or red if you want to use these waterside decals. We got a couple of little Frame Arms Girl logos there, a couple of warning logos. Those are also in with either blue or red, highlighting on those. And then these cute little animal faces there, kind of angry tiger, a bunny there, and a teddy bear head for some markings on there if you wanted to put those on. For hand options, we've got the usual set of closed fists here, as well as extended trigger finger hands, regular holding hands, open expressive hands, and open resting hands. So the usual layout of hand options for this kit. And then as usual, some very nice pre-printing here for the faces. So you've just got this kind of slightly looking off to the left face here. And then you've got the similar one here, but just like looking off to the opposite side, off to the right instead. And the third one is also looking off to the left again, but this one is sort of cracking a little tiny bit of a smile there, so showing a little bit of emotion at least in one of the faces. And obviously we have this stand here included for this. So with the base figure, this works plenty well. Once we get the big heavy armaments onto there, it might start to maybe not work so well, but we'll find out in a moment. We have a set of these, which are replacement parts for the arms for you to be able to plug on different frame arms kit arms onto this. So some of the frame arms robot kits, if you want to replace the arms, you've got these replacement joints for that. We've got the Go Rise knife here, as well as the connector piece for that, for connecting it onto the kit. This is actually technically a leftover part that you're not supposed to use with this kit, but it's included, so obviously why wouldn't you use it? We've got these optional parts that are once again just carried over from the original Go-Rai, optional leg and arm, which are just fixed pose like this, which are meant to kind of depict that she's like taking off the armor here. So I'll show you that in use in a moment. And then we've got our main weapons here. We've got two of these. So this is just the pile driver option. So you've got just this simple, cool effect on that. You've got some major seam line on this, but overall the detailing on these is pretty nice. Straight out of the box though, just molded all in black. They're not going to be the most, I don't know, interesting looking, just without any sort of coloring on there. So definitely doing a little bit of painting on these to at least bring out some of the details, or at least maybe a little bit of dry brushing or something, just to bring out the details would be pretty nice, I think. So you got a couple of connector parts for this, these parts that'll connect onto like the arm of a different frame arms kit or something, but they're actually not used with this kit, so you actually will take these off. And of course we do have this handle here as well, which you could use, but that's also not really, it's not shown in the manual to use this handle. I think you could, but you probably would have some weight issues, like holding that in the hand. It would kind of like be kind of holding it a little bit weird. So what you have for connecting this onto the actual girl here is a set of these little connector pieces. So you'll just take out the handle here, use this one here instead, and then this will plug onto the back of the arm. So on the back here you've got that little hole, and that just plugs into there. And it actually holds up pretty well. Now let's give it a little bit of a weight test, see if she can hold that straight out. And yeah, surprisingly, I mean, despite this being pretty big, it doesn't weigh all that much. So the joint is holding up, it seems solid enough to be holding that up like that. That said, the pile driver I think is probably the lightest of the options. Our other options here, but before that, this does also have a spring action in it, so you can push this back and it won't stay back. There's this little bit here on the top you have to press down, so you push this back, press that down, and then that will stay like cocked back like that. And then you press this again and that will shoot out of there like that. There we go, like that. Sorry, I wasn't pressing it right, like that. There you go. So I don't know, you kind of have to hold it just right so you're not pushing anything the wrong way. So I'm trying to hold it the right way. Once again, you just push this back and that will pop out of there. So, damn. All right, one more try. Push this without obstructing it at all. There you go. There you go. So you guys could see how that works. So then to change this, all you do is simply bring that back, and then you can just slide this part here at the front out. And then we have a couple different options for that. So our other option is this big punching fist, which again is just all molded in one color. It's a nice molded silver. It looks pretty cool. At least it gives you two different colors to this now instead of just the one. The hand does have a slight amount of articulation in it, and that you can kind of like rotate the thumb back and then extend the fingers out like that. So if you wanted to have it look like it's sort of like grabbing onto something, or you could maybe even have it actually holding onto something, I suppose, if I could hold on to the part here, sorry about that. But anyway, so that this rotates like that, and you have the left and the right version of that, or you could swap it to both be on the left or both be on the right, just by replacing this part here on the side. So if you wanted to give like one in the right hand and then the other one also on the right hand to a different kit or something, you could do that. So it's able to be used on either side, it doesn't matter, but the way that it has you build them in the manual is to make one for the left and one for the right. But anyway, this one can also have some spring punching actions. Let me try to not mess this up this time. Here we go, there you go, like that. So that just punches like that, there you go, pretty cool. And then our third option is the claws. Got two sets of these claws options. Actually, this is my favorite, I prefer these. So these will fold out like that, and these don't really want to stay in there very well. Kind of like that, but they're kind of very loose in there. Either that or I'm doing something wrong, but they don't really stay in there too well. So maybe just adding some paint or something in there obviously will tighten that up. But anyway, then with the spring action, it just shoots those out like that. So I suppose that's maybe why these don't plug in there super securely, because with this like piston there that springs out, it just springs out this main center part there, instead of pushing out the whole thing like it does with the other two options. So kind of cool, but if you want this to just be stuck in there, you'll have to glue it or paint it or something so that it doesn't fall out so easily. I think if you're just holding it vertically like this, well, it's holding in there for the time being, but I think that could again, easily fall out of there. One other thing I almost forgot to mention about this is that this part here at the bottom makes it hard for you to just plug this straight into the arm. So actually what you can do with these parts, which we removed from the first one here, which you'll remove for these, you take this part here and remove this little bit at the bottom. You use this piece as an extender to plug into there, and then you'll plug this onto the arm there instead of there, so that you have space for this bit here at the bottom. So it'll be like that, attached onto the arm like so. One other thing that I also forgot to mention, you have another little adapter piece here, which is for the knee armor. So if you remove this knee armor here and you wanted to plug some other different knee armor onto this, you just plug this on in its place, and then it just gives you your standard 3mm peg for plugging on whatever other knee armor or whatever else you wanted to plug on here onto the knee instead. And so again, here it is displayed with those kind of gimmick parts of the fixed arm and leg to make it look like she's taking off her armor there. Pretty cool parts, and I like the look of that. It was really cool when I first saw that. I remember first seeing that as like a gimmick included with the original Go-Ride kit, and I thought that was really cool looking, but I always really have trouble with it. It's kind of really hard to get it to match up, because the part that's like attached onto the back of the leg there, you have to kind of fix that in a way so that the hand looks like it's gripping onto that, but you have to have the body at a really kind of weird tilted angle. It's kind of hard to do, but eventually you can get it there, or close enough to there, and it does still look pretty cool. And yeah, I think the weight issues on the arm is still holding up pretty well, but I'm not having it in any sort of really super dynamic pose yet. I think that'll be something we'll try here again at the end. There's a couple other different options, things that I want to try out here to share with you guys. And the first thing is this. I know people maybe often want to use these Kotobukiya weapons with gunpla, because there's some pretty cool ones, and it's always kind of difficult because they're always somewhere in between. They're usually a little bit big for something in 1/44 scale, but a little bit small for something in 1/100 scale. So of course, if you use a 1/144 scale model like this, like the Gyaradoga, which is a pretty big mobile suit, it kind of will be pretty close. Or on the other hand, if you use it with something like a Master Grade F90 or something that is on the smaller scale in 1/100 scale, that could also work as well. Now the problem here with this is that this handle is too big, so it can't hold it. So you have to gonna have to use your imagination a little bit here. All you would really have to do is just shave this handle down till it's small enough to fit into the hand of the Gyaradoga here. We also have to pretend like his shield on the shoulder is not getting in the way, but if you guys can get an idea here, at least of the size of that, I think this would be very fitting for something like this, something from Char's counterattack, this size, a larger mobile suit like that. For anything smaller, it could still work. It's definitely going to be very large though, so if that's the look you're going for, it could work, but hopefully this at least gives you guys a little bit of an idea of how big this will be compared to a gunpla kit. And you'll have to forgive a little bit the wonky pose there, sorry about that, but just wanted to at least give you guys an example of this of the weapon in use with a regular frame arms kit as well, just for an example. Because if you're like me, and personally, I kind of wanted to get this kit to have the frame arms girl and the weapons separately, because I'll probably end up using the weapons for, not totally decided yet, either a different frame arms kit or a gunpla kit. Actually, at the time, I had an idea, but I didn't write it down or anything, so I actually forgot. I had an idea, I know, for some Gunpla kit that I wanted to use these weapons with, these claw weapons with, and now I can't remember what it was. So anyway, but if you're like me and maybe wanted to use these with something else, I wanted to give you guys a couple of different options here to at least show you these in use. So here it is with the Vulture, of course, which we recently reviewed here on the channel. But alright, so that pretty much does it, and again, kind of really the name of the game with these is just all about customization. So it's all about, you know, letting your creativity go and just, you know, customizing this. You know, you keep it simple as this, you know, just what's in the box and that's it. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this. I mean, the weapons are obviously really cool. The base kit itself, very nicely articulated, and there's just lots that you could do with just what you have in the box. But of course, the great thing about Kotobukiya is that all of their stuff is so compatible. You have all sorts of different frame arms kits and other different frame arms girls, and then all of their MSG line of all their different weapon options, parts, and things like that that are all compatible. And then again, you can also use this with a lot of Bandai Gunpla option parts. A lot of the more recent HG kits are all using a kind of standard 3mm size peg as well. So like a lot of the different option sets, the HG build custom option sets, things like that, a lot of those will also work with this as well. So it's all about trying out different things and just seeing whatever works for you, whatever you want to do with that. The one thing that's really nice about the Architect, if that is something that you want to do, is that the Architect especially has a lot of hard points on it, with it being obviously based on the Architect frame, which is like the central frame inside a majority of the frame arms robots kits. The point of the frame is to have a lot of hard points on it for plugging on the different armor onto that, and so that's carried over here into the frame arms girl version as well. So plenty of hard points on there for plugging on different stuff. You don't even need a drill. All you need to do is just plug and play. You just get whatever option parts you want, plug them onto there, and you're good to go. So that's what's nice about these, but also, as I think I've mentioned before, I also find that quite intimidating. It's almost like too many options. It's hard for me to really, I honestly find it a little bit hard to actually come up with like cool like kit bash ideas for these, but it's something, you know, to work on, something I think I just need to get a little bit more practice with, just get used to. It's just not something that I'm as familiar with as Gunpla kits. Gunpla kits I've built, you know, hundreds at this point. Kotobukiya kits I've built maybe a couple dozen at max of these frame arms and frame arms girls kits. So anyway, that's pretty much it for the review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have any other further questions or comments, of course, feel free to leave those down below. Again, a huge thank you to USA Gundam Store for their support as well, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye bye.